Imagine there's one skill that could make you richer, more respected, and happier. Yet it was never taught in a single class during your 12 years of schooling. Every single day, millions of people lose money, opportunities, and respect simply because they never learned how to properly ask for what they deserve. This skill isn't a natural talent. It's a learnable skill that anyone can master, starting today. That skill is called negotiation. It's not just for lawyers, business executives, or diplomats in fancy boardrooms. Negotiation happens every time you apply for a job, rent an apartment, buy a car, or even ask your partner to share household chores. Unfortunately, school taught us calculus and history, but never how to actually get what we deserve in real life. Think back to your time in school. You learned math formulas you may never use again, yet no one ever taught you how to answer when HR asks, "What salary are you expecting?" This is a massive gap in modern education systems worldwide, from the United States to Australia. The result? Many people avoid negotiating altogether because it feels awkward. They're afraid of looking greedy, or they fear rejection. They accept the first offer without question, even when it's far below their actual worth. This quiet fear is silently draining thousands of dollars from their pockets every single year. This isn't just an opinion. It's backed by real data. According to a 2025 Resume Genius survey of 1,000 full-time US workers, 55% of people never negotiate their starting salary. More than half of the entire workforce simply accepts whatever is offered to them. Now imagine how big that loss really is. According to labor research reports, the average American worker could be leaving around $7,500 on the table per job, simply by not negotiating. Multiply that across every raise, bonus, and retirement contribution calculated from base salary, and that number can balloon into tens of thousands of dollars over an entire career. Even more striking, research from Harvard Business Review found that people who negotiate a job offer receive, on average, 18.8% more than those who simply accept the initial offer. That means one short conversation, one that might only last 5 minutes, could be worth thousands of dollars over a lifetime. So why do so many people stay silent? The answer lies inside our own brains, in a psychological phenomenon called the anchoring effect. Classic research by psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky showed that the very first number introduced in a conversation, even if it's random, unconsciously shapes our final decision. Researchers at Harvard Law School's program on negotiation even found that the party who makes the first offer usually ends up with a more favorable final outcome. This means that people who stay silent and simply wait for the other side to offer first are actually handing over full control of the negotiation's outcome. Let's look at a real-world example. Sarah, a graphic designer in Toronto, was offered an annual salary of $55,000 for her new position. Instead of accepting right away, she calmly asked, "Is there any room to negotiate on this number?" With just that one simple question, the company raised its offer to $61,000. Negotiation isn't just about salary. Picture a student in Manchester renting an apartment who managed to lower the monthly rent simply by showing the landlord local market research. Or a used car buyer in Sydney who cut hundreds of dollars off the price just by asking, "Is this the best price you can offer?" Even in personal relationships, negotiation plays a vital role. Couples who can discuss dividing household chores or financial plans in a respectful, mutual way tend to have healthier, longer-lasting relationships. At its core, negotiation is about honest, mutually beneficial communication, not a battle to be won or lost. So how do we start building this skill that was never taught in school? The good news is, this isn't an inborn talent. It's a set of simple habits that anyone, at any age, in any country, can learn and practice. Principle number 1. Research before you speak. Before entering any negotiation, find out what a fair market value actually looks like. Use sites like Glassdoor or LinkedIn salary for pay ranges, or compare prices across multiple platforms for goods. The more data you have, the more confident you'll feel sitting at the negotiating table. Principle number 2. Be brave enough to speak first. Remember that anchoring effect we talked about. By naming a number first, you psychologically shift the negotiation starting point in your favor. Of course, that number still needs to be realistic and grounded in research, not just a random guess. Principle number 3. Don't be afraid of silence. Many people feel the need to fill every pause in a conversation with words, but staying quiet for a moment after making your request actually puts healthy pressure on the other side to respond. Silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a powerful negotiation tool. Principle number 4. Listen more than you talk. The world's best negotiators spend far more time understanding the other side's needs than promoting themselves. By actively listening, you can uncover what truly matters to the person across the table. And that's the key to reaching an agreement that benefits both sides. Principle number 5. Separate the problem from the person. Don't treat negotiation as a personal battle against HR, a salesperson, or your landlord. Instead, see it as two parties working together to solve one shared problem. This mindset shift turns the atmosphere from confrontation into collaboration. Principle number 6. Know your walk-away point before you even enter the room. This is called your BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement, the best option you have if the deal falls through. When you know exactly when to walk away, you negotiate with far greater confidence. And finally, principle number 7, practice small negotiations every single day. Ask for a discount at your local market, request an extra deadline on a task, or make an offer when buying something second-hand online. The more you practice in low-stakes situations, the more prepared you'll be when the big negotiation comes along, like a raise or a home purchase. Let's put all these principles together in one story. James, a software engineer in London, received a new job offer. He researched the market salary, confidently named his number first, stayed calm through the silence on the video call, and ultimately raised his offer by 12% in just one 10-minute conversation. Of course, there are common mistakes to avoid. Never lie about a competing offer that doesn't actually exist, never negotiate with a threatening tone, and never rush to accept the first offer just because saying no feels uncomfortable. These small mistakes can quietly damage both trust and your final outcome. What you need to remember is that negotiation isn't about defeating someone else. It's about having the courage to voice your worth politely, clearly, and backed by data. Research from Fidelity Investments even shows that 85% of people who dare to negotiate salary or benefits receive at least some of what they asked for. The odds are far better than you might think. Negotiation isn't just about money. It's about building a kind of confidence that will change how you move through life. Every time you dare to ask, "Can we talk about this again?" you're training a muscle that will help you in every area of life, from career to finances to personal relationships. School may not have taught it, but starting today, you can teach it to yourself. So here's a question for you. What negotiation have you been avoiding all this time? A salary you've never asked to revisit, a price you always just accept without question. Drop a comment below with one thing you'll negotiate this week. Then hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video on life skills school never taught you.